your mind.
You require my assistance? Adigo! We're gonna be rich.
I have no time for games.
Inferno! You require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
Hello and welcome everybody to the playoffs. It is our Tavern Talk first week of the playoffs here. I am joined as always by DeSharmo and Mako down underneath me. He's got no cam. He's eating his Wendy's. He's calling us from the drive-thru right now. So if you guys hear his order, it's I don't know, what do you get at Wendy's? It's like a double cheese, those square patties.
If you're not getting a baconator, you're really just not doing it right.
Oh man! All right,
It's true.
and our guest tonight is Dano of Anoyo team. The Anoyo boys having a great season. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, I'm really excited for this show. We've got a couple of interesting segments today. Obviously, our normal segments, but we've also taken a look back at our playoff predictions at the beginning of the season to see kind of how we did and what surprised us, what kind of came out of there. So definitely looking forward to it. Yes, Tris, we are going to talk about last week's games, at least the four that we talked about last week, to see how we did in our predictions, the games that mattered for the playoff race. So your team, unfortunately, we're not going to talk about you guys, but you guys did great, and you guys should feel good about that. You guys did do great. You had a great week, and keep it up, man. Starting off already strong this week, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. But yeah, let's get started. Let's jump on in. Are you still muted, DeSharmo? Tris is asking.
You're right. I am on mute.
He sure was.
Wow.
I think this is the second week in a row. He does his old fancy thing. He can talk while none of us can talk while we're doing the intro, and he just forgets to let himself
work 12 hours. So work. Not over-exaggerate. 11 hours, but still. Anyway,
it's all good.
Yeah. We The first one that we're going to see tonight is Dirty Mike and the Boys into Stubbs, right?
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely.
This is our review from last week, or prediction as well. On top of that.
Yeah.
There we go.
So looking at how things went last week, we did all predict. I mean, we did have a lot of this already for us. I remember we had 3 of the matches already complete by the time we went on the show. So it wasn't too hard to predict. It would have taken. I mean, the Stubbs had already sealed it, unless I don't know if there was a point situation where they could have potentially lost. I don't think so, actually. Looking at the matches they did lose, they pretty much lost those 3-0, 3-1. So yeah, they had already sealed it by the time we were on the show. But Dirty Mike and the Boys taking back those two wins from the 2 matches we didn't actually see, and all of us predicting Comp to win, and he finds his 2nd loss of the season here to Surlos. So definitely surprising there, but he'll find another loss this week against me. So won't he'll continue that trend.
Ooh, shots.
But yeah, both these teams I think had already, they needed enough points to seal their playoff race, and they managed to get that with this week. So not too much to talk about here. I think both of them needed a couple of points just to secure it, and they both managed to do it. It was a very close match, and really came down to it. So any thoughts here, guys, on this one?
I think all the wins were legitimate, and no real surprises here, other than
Really?
the comp match that you.
I was gonna say. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, they had already had it sealed, so we don't know if he just
Yeah.
if he
Okay.
wasn't
Yeah.
really
That's
taking
fair.
it seriously or anything like that.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair. It also is worth noting that I think Comp started as a 4 seed this season, or maybe even 5, and moved his way up. So has been having a great season, but has just been in the 2, I think, recently, and actually his past 2 weeks have been losses in the 2. So starting to face maybe a little bit of a stiffer competition, and maybe the new meta is not as inviting to him. But we'll see. He can definitely beat me this week, and maybe feel a little bit better about the current meta, and maybe being the 2 seed. But yeah, we'll definitely see how that plays out this week. Both these teams are in the playoffs, and we'll see if they can continue. I guess Tuna also not doing great in Legacy, but had a wonderful season in Pro. So to me, that I could see that match being close, and it was. What about you, Dano? Anything stand out for you here?
No, just the comp loss, I think, and then the fact that it was a sweep, right? That's kind of surprising when you've had such a good season. You would want to kind of go out on a high note, but I mean, stuff happens in Hearthstone, right? So
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think especially in this meta, stuff tends to happen. Very, very swingy games, and definitely, I would think we've been seeing a little bit more sweeps in matchups we didn't expect it, especially in Legacy. In Hero, sometimes you see it a little bit, but in Legacy, usually sweeps are a little uncommon, and we see 2 here in this match. So awesome. All right, let's jump to the next match of last week's, the cross conference matchups here.
That would be a Noyo team in prep. So this is yours,
All right.
Dano.
Yeah, let's hear what you have to say about this match.
I think it went better than we could have expected, to be honest. So I think we all thought we could win, but I think taking 4 of the 5 was a little unexpected for sure. But yeah, everyone kind of came prepared with like a super great plan, and it just really kind of came through, especially like Nulltown in the 1 and Matt at Arms in the 5, just like Matt with the sweep, and just kind of showing, what a 3-14 PR can do in the 5, right? And just kind of taking care of business that way.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy PR in the 5. And one thing that stands out to me a little bit here is, prep. This was their, chance at getting into the playoffs, and you guys pretty much played gatekeeper for them. I think there were 3 teams that were really fighting for it in that conference, and with a win, I think they might have been able to seal it. I think they were in the lead for that spot, and lost it to Pod, which we will see that match in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the two sweeps we see with Ron and Matt at Arms, again, sort of like I was talking about, two sweeps, which is not too common in Legacy. It's starting to see a little bit more of that. But then also some very close matches with your match with Icon and the 3-2, and Zethund against Force of Will with the 3-2.
Yeah, that Icon match was, I mean, it was down to the wire. So, I mean, he went to the rubber match, and he had me down to 5 health, and it was really just me finding Siamat instead of Ragnaros to taunt up, and I got there, and he couldn't get through it, and I was able to kind of finish it off from there. But it was a coin flip. It was an honest to goodness coin flip at the end there. So it was a ton of fun, absolute ton of fun.
Yeah, no, I think that definitely one of the competitive matches I would have liked to have seen of the week. And you're having a great season, man. Like 7-1. You've got another match this week, and hopefully, you can continue that.
Hopefully it's Itachi, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. So.
Oh yeah, you jump into the 2 seed actually off of this because of a mage's loss there. So
yeah,
a little bit of switching around. Have you guys been doing that throughout the season, or is this your first match in the 2 for the season?
This was my first match in the 2. I started off in the 5, so
Wow.
started off in the 5 and got swept my first match, and then so I went from like 308 or whatever to like 2 something, and then just went 7 in a row. Just kind of like figured out what my plans were, and kind of figured out my mental state a little bit more because I was so stressed in the 5 playing like with that higher PR. And so, like, once I got my mind right, it really kind of changed how I approached each game. So it's kind of getting that first win and being, okay, I got that first win. I got something done for the team. Now what? Can I get that second win? If I get the second win, then it's a coin flip from there, right? We can go to 5, then it's a coin flip to who wins in Hearthstone in 5. So kind of changing that to this mindset of like, I have to win because I'm the favorite player. It just, it was brutal. So.
Yeah. And you're saying you lost your first week, and then you've had a 7 win streak since then. That's amazing.
Yep. Yeah, I got swept my first week by I'm blanking on who it was actually, but yeah, I swept my first week, got absolutely destroyed. Like it wasn't like it was bad matchups or high rolls, just like wrecked, honestly wrecked.
Was that against us? I feel like we played you Dad Legend week 1 maybe. Was that
Yeah,
Shads?
yeah, it was
Shads.
Shads. Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God, Shads. He's in the World of Warcraft now. So
yeah, completely wrecked. Went to Discord afterwards, like apologized to everyone. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, this is obviously you probably made a mistake bringing me in here.
No, he's a really powerful 5 as well. He's when he joined, he was still learning, but I think he's hit Legend a couple times since then, and not that he plays Hearthstone too much anymore. So
He's all about that Hearthstone MMO now.
Yeah, the Hearthstone MMO, exactly. But yeah, awesome. Well, congratulations. I think you guys secured. I don't know if you guys were in danger. I think there was a chance that you guys, if you had a really bad week, get passed by one of the teams below you. But
I think they literally had to have a 0-point week or something like that.
Yeah, so. This definitely secured you guys into the playoffs. So, and you gate kept the rogues or the pilots. Sorry, I guess. I guess they're not rogues.
It was a fun week though, for sure. I know for us, it's hard to be the loser and say it was fun, but yeah, it was a good time. So
cool. And then looking at our predictions, just since we have them up here, I did not think you guys were going to win, so that's 1, and Snake as well. But everyone else had faith in you guys, and you guys did even better than any of us predicted, with only the 2 seed having the loss there. So definitely congratulations and well played there.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, biggest surprise for us, I guess. No one predicted that Nulltown was going to beat Fuel, and he had a good win there. So
Nulltown is a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
Solid
player.
Sneaky
good too, right?
He won the DHL. He beat me in the finals of the DHLs last season, and he won the whole thing. So he's a really good player.
Absolutely. And Fuel not having the best season in Legacy.
Yeah. And I'll point out that Dano beat me in the season too. It was close, but he beat me.
There's another one, another coin flip one. It was another absolute, blast of a match. So, right, the plan came together. It always feels good when the plan comes together.
Yep. Oh yeah, awesome. All right, any other thoughts on this one before we jump to the next one, guys?
Nope.
Awesome.
All right, the next one we'll be talking about is SPG versus Pod People.
All right, so SPG, we'll see in a little bit, but one of the favorites actually in the conference did not have the season that I think most of us were expecting, and Pod People getting a win against a team that I still think is strong. Didn't have the season they were expecting, but definitely still a powerful team and securing themselves a spot in the playoffs here with this win. A couple points going a different way could have actually, I think, ended up with Prep or Abejas jumping in over them. So very, very close race there for that spot. And here the Pod People were able to secure it. Yeah, anything stand out here? We did have one match already played.
Yeah, what stands out to me is Snake got all the predictions right.
Yeah, Snake crushed it on this one actually. Where all of us voted, against Donde, which is tradition on the show.
As is tradition, yes.
He managed to get that win, and then the same thing with the actually, yeah, I guess only person that voted incorrectly on the 4 seed was Turd. I was reading that opposite, but Turd, I think, just hoping that the pizza could get the win, the Totina's pizza rolls, based on that name.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is the Totina's Pizza loss, right? It's such a strong name; you expect great things out of them. So I was kind of bummed to see they had lost, but
yeah, being a 200 PR player in the 3 is, especially with all the great amount of 3 seeds and high seed, high PR 3 seed players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really hard for someone with 275 or whatever it was to win in that position. So.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, it was an uphill battle, but it's a strong name. I mean, you bring a strong name game into it, it's expectations.
But
it's
I mean,
expectations.
Do you think it's
but I mean, he is
Totina's pizza that is?
It's an ad.
But
It's an ad.
he was
Ghost just
playing
said-
freeloader though, so he's stealing all his Totino's pizzas rolls. So.
Ghost just said he got a targeted ad of Totina's right before the stream. So maybe this is all just an ad campaign by Totina's, just jumping into different series and trying to just make the ads just targeted. They know us, man. We love girls here at Tavern Talk.
I mean, they're welcome to sponsor if they want.
Yeah, come
think we'll take
sponsor
it.
us, Totina's Pizza. All right. Anything else stand out for you guys here? The Warlock bring to me, but I think in the 5 seed, anything goes. Whatever decks you can make or whatever you're comfortable with is what you bring. So didn't work
It's gonna
out.
be tough
here,
to win with
but,
Warlock, though.
Yeah.
And I think SPG was kind of out of the playoffs by this time, so they were kind of just bringing whatever.
Yeah, that's also reasonable. I think they did bring competitive lineups here, but
yeah,
maybe their hearts weren't fully in it.
I wish their hearts were in it.
I never want to assume that someone wasn't.
Oh, for sure.
Wasn't playing their hardest, and we do see Donde and
You don't know.
Freeloader getting those wins. So
Yeah.
especially Freeloader, who's been super busy, and I think is taking a step back a little bit from Hearthstone after this season.
Yeah,
to see
he
him
is.
get that win, yeah, I mean that's impressive. Still putting that effort in, despite kind of making that decision.
All right, you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
The next one will be Hearthstone and Chill versus Abejas.
Awesome. Well, this was our featured match last week. We had players from both sides, and unfortunate. I was rooting for you guys. I had you guys win 4-1 and sneaking in, but it just wasn't meant to be. It looks like it came down to 2 game 5s potentially that could have made a difference there.
Yep.
You want to speak to it, Mako? You want to speak to sort of what happened there?
Shit happens, man. That's all I got for you.
Okay.
Don't really got much to say about it. I mean, Silver struggled the entire season. Sanguine really kind of stepped up for us because Ghost was out,
Yeah,
and that
she got that
definitely
win.
she did a good job. Booze struggled, but I know his match was pretty close. My match came down to the wire as well. I had him. Oh wait, now I'm thinking of a different series. It was so close though. I don't know. Snake really kind of was the backbone of this match last week with the 3-0. Like it kind of. I mean, not saying it was unexpected that he wasn't gonna win, but like the sweep, Catman was undefeated.
Yeah, Catman was undefeated.
So it definitely threw us for a loop, got things going. But yeah, shit happens, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And sorry to see your season end that way, but what a match! It's a perfect tie to end this season. One thing that I want to point out: these were all cross conference matches, and they were, supposedly, you were matched up against your comparable opponent. And although during the season the cross conference was 1-6 in favor of the gold conference, during the actual cross conference week, it actually ended up being 3-3-1. So like completely balanced. And the wins were all over. It wasn't like the top teams won in both conferences and vice versa. So it was very cool to kind of see this. When it's matched up evenly like this, it did end up being 3-3-1.
I will mention that there was one team that won their red conference match twice.
That
are
yeah.
2-0.
That's good. That's good to know. But yeah, at the end, it did end up being
That was a
4
good for you,
wins
buddy.
for the red, 9 for the gold, and a tie total for all the cross conference matches during the season. But in the cross conference week, it was 3-3-1, which I think is really cool. So maybe getting a random opponent during the season isn't ideal, but I actually think this cross conference week before the playoffs turned out really, really well. Seeing kind of those results. So yeah, I know we were sort of talking about it in the Discord a little bit, and I think it's something, depending on how many captains we have, worth talking about, but not for this show. I just thought it was very cool that it was 3-3-1 for the cross conference.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is actually the only way it could have tied is if one of them was a tie, because we have an odd number. So that, yeah, I mean, thank you for making that happen.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah. Awesome. Any last thoughts on this before we jump into a quick commercial and then our review of the playoff predictions from the beginning of the season?
I got nothing.
Cool. All right. So just quick commercial from us. You're already on the Twitch channel.
Wait.
What's going on?
Do
you want to do it?
You want me to do it?
You want to do it?
You want me to do it? You ask me every week if I can do it, and I never have the doc pulled up.
Okay, do
now
it.
he
Yes,
does.
yes,
Right.
please. I just assumed you didn't have it. Please do it.
I never do. But you know what? This time I was like, I'll open the doc. Let's see what's going on tonight.
Do it. Yes.
Welcome to Team Hearth Legends. You are currently watching our stream at twitch.tv/Team Hearth Legends. However, we do need your help. Oh, yes, we do. Please consider subscribing to our channel, ! This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs of operating our website. And oh boy, we need it, as well as improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. Guys, if we can't afford to pay for the website, how are we going to submit our matches? You want to do the whole thing through Discord? No, you don't. So if you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, you can sub to the channel for free. That is $0, 0 pesos, 0 euros. Subscribers will get a THL emoticon as well as the lovely THL chat badge. It looks like this. So hit that heart button and keep the notifications on. That is on to make sure you catch our team broadcasting live! We appreciate each and every one of you from the bottoms of our hearts. Also, check out our website at teamhearthlegends.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS, and join us on Discord, which
Oh.
I don't think they can find us without
And
the link.
dime en español, por favor.
No,
No.
I'm too tired for that.
I do want to also add something I just realized we don't have in the commercial notes there. We have a YouTube channel, so check that out. I know some people actually might be watching the show on the YouTube channel because everything after the show is uploaded. I think thanks to Saku, I believe, is the one uploading it. So definitely appreciate
Yes.
that. And if you miss a show, check it out on YouTube, or if you're on YouTube, come check us out live on Twitch at some point. We do this show every week at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then we have shows every night, almost every night. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at around that time, somewhere at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we try to have matches on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays as well. So definitely come check us out here or on the YouTube. And thanks for watching. Awesome. So let's jump right into these playoff predictions. We have predictions from the very beginning of the season, just when teams were announced, and we had just the conferences. So these are our predictions for the conference. We have some from that joint show we had at the beginning of the season. That was a bunch of the hosts. We had hosts from Saloon, from Tavern Talk, and from Hearth Center, all together discussing, who's going to make it in each conference. So this is our legacy predictions. Let's pull them up. Oh, we have them up. Look at that.
Already come on, man.
So this is the gold conference predictions. The red means we got it wrong. We did guess the top two correctly. The Web Boys and Roundtable were correctly predicted by every single one of us. But Donde, the only one who believed in the Stubs, and they made it. And they were actually not the ones that were in contention. They needed a couple points, and they secured it. Where Pod, who was the fourth seed there, who I think 3 people predicted to make it, actually secured it in the last week. Something that is cool is all the teams here that we have predicted were in the running. Abejas, Prep, and Pod were all fighting for that last spot. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. It's not like we were totally off base with our predictions. They were definitely, it came down to that last week. In a different world, it could have come out a different way. So what do you guys think here?
Well, I want to thank Mark Shire for his Twitch Prime sub, 5 months. Thank you, Mark Shire.
Absolutely. Diamond Kel got a prediction. These predictions. Some of them were made. The Donde Kel ones were made during the Hearth Center multi-host show at the beginning of the season when we did the roulette and everything. You put everyone in divisions. Yeah, we talked about our predictions there, so I added them in. And then Avi and Blue Sombrero were our guests on that first week when we made predictions, so their predictions are here as well. But yeah, anything stand out for you guys here? Surprises?
So I would like to just say that I know that it looks like we missed playoffs. However, I would just like to say that this was all big brain by me.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, based on some of my weekly predictions when I don't know who a player is, red is my favorite color. So I'm just I'm gonna pull out the line that this was all big brain plans 8 weeks in advance, and I just wanted to throw you guys off, say we're gonna make playoffs, guys, put us down for it, and then intentionally not just so you could highlight our team name in red.
Yeah, I mean you're getting your
definitely it.
standing ovation here.
It was definitely not because we just didn't make it. It was all planned.
It was all planned. Big
Yes.
brain.
You're welcome.
I love it. Anyone else have any thoughts here? I mean, props to Donde for predicting the Stubs, and no one else did.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, we played both Abejas and Prep, and to see them both not making the playoffs is kind of incredible because they both played really well, I thought. So, and had pretty strong teams from my personal experience.
And I think
You
that
did
kind of
keep one of them.
Yeah, well, sorry.
I think that also goes to the Gold Conference as well. How well the Gold Conference was close together. I mean, it was all the way up to the end. The Red Conference was kind of already predicted the last week, The gold needed like that last week to really figure out who was going to do it.
I
So,
mean, we know why Prep didn't make though. Like, look at their final week. Their name is Prep is for Rogues, and they only brought one rogue.
Oh.
Literally, it's
Well,
literally
they're the pilots. They're not the rogues. They don't
Yeah.
they don't prep, right? That's the whole thing. Maybe.
Maybe it's because they brought
Wait.
one too many rogues.
All right. Well, yeah, that's our predictions for the Gold Conference. We didn't do too badly, I think. I think it's cool to see how things play out, and it's also cool when we're wrong. So teams that maybe we didn't expect make it. It's always very very cool. I think
I love
Stubbs.
being wrong.
Yeah, Stubbs. I think 2 seasons ago had an incredible season. I think they won the whole thing, and then last season they really struggled. And then this season they brought it back. They're back in it. So making the playoffs.
you want to talk about being wrong? We got one team that was wrong on the next one. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump to the red conference
Red
here.
conference.
Hit me.
This transition button doesn't work very well. Like click it 1,000 times.
Oh, look at that.
Poor
Oh, the
poor
misfits.
SPG, but nobody picked Anoyo coming in this.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
I didn't pick them either. I mean, I was going to be honest. You guys had a few new faces, and I wasn't too sure. But boy, were we wrong. Big
I
time.
picked us. In my heart, I picked us.
Yeah, no, we were super wrong there. Wow, yeah, Anoyo just finding its way in when we SPG, we just had faith in them and they just didn't bring it. I think they had a really good season the previous season, and we're riding on that high on those coattails, and just couldn't do it this season for some reason. Saku, thank you for your 15-month streak. Wow, amazing.
Damn. Nice, dude.
And Kel was on the Misfits, so I think that's why he put that there. He said that the team he was subbing, I think we agreed on a lot of these. He subbed Misfits for Tap Last, and I think that was actually he subbed the 1 seed for the 7 seed. So, a good thing to have faith in your team. Absolutely, is my thoughts on that. Anything else here? DeSharmo, you and Blue Sabrera correctly predicted Dirty Mike and the Boys, where everyone else had faith in Hearthstone and Chill, and they were technically still in the running that last week. They needed a miracle, I think. They had to win out, and they actually had a really good week and almost got the points they needed. But they also needed, I believe, they needed Anoyo to have a bad week, and you guys crushed it too. So
yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the Dirty Mike and the Boys, they were good last season. They were, I believe we played them, the Wet Boys last season played them, and barely beat them. So, wait, I don't remember exactly the match there, but they made it to the playoffs last season. So I thought it was gonna be nothing different this season. So I'm glad to see them there.
Yeah, absolutely, and rightfully so. I think they had a great season.
Yeah, and I think for a Noyo team, like Mad at Arms was putting the team together, and then just kind of keeping on all of us to make sure we were like prepping and communicating with our opponents really well. And the Discord was just incredible with the back and forth and what are we doing for this week? What's your actual plan here? I like this deck. Should I bring it? No, it's actually garbage, even though it's fun. Those kind of conversations. So it really did kind of. It was very helpful. I think it was. Because when I played in solo leagues before, in DHL back in the day, and I would just have those conversations in my head, and it's like, well, of course I should bring, 4 Cthulhu decks, because that's just obviously more fun than bringing good decks. So
Yeah, I mean, who would ever bring like a Mogu Cultist deck in Pro Series finals without consulting the team? That'd be so dumb.
Yeah.
What?
I do want to Tris mention that the Tap Last being first on everyone's list. That we didn't actually order it in any particular order. I just did it like that so you could see, when we had the same predictions where they were, and then I put them in order of the standings. So Tap Last, Dad Legend, Noyo, DMB was the order there. Yeah. So it's not actually our order when we did the predictions at the beginning of the season, we didn't order it 1 to 4. We just picked our top 4 who would make playoffs. So,
It was definitely my order, though.
yeah, I'm sure it was. And you were almost right. Yeah, you guys definitely had a great season. Absolutely. So yeah, we'll still a couple more weeks, hopefully, for you guys to keep it up. Yeah. Any last thoughts here before we jump into the quarterfinals? We're going to talk about all of the matches here in the quarterfinals, in the playoffs, and see what we think's going to happen.
I think we're good to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I just like getting a little bit of silence before each segment. Like to ask you guys.
All right. We'll be talking about Tap Last and the Pod People.
Yep. So I ordered these in order of just 1 versus 4 for the. I had red first just because I guess I'm opening the red conference stuff, so I had red 1 versus gold 4, then red 2 versus gold 3, then red 3 versus gold 2, red 4 versus gold 1.
Sounds like Star Wars.
Exactly.
It does.
Red leader. Red leader. But yeah, so this is our first match here. Dano, I don't know if you normally watch the show, but what we do normally is I'll have everyone give us their predictions from 1 to 5. In this case, we have the 5 seed already figured out. So your predictions 1 to 4, who wins each one, and yeah, I guess we'll start with Mako here. I'll let Desharma go last because I know what he's going to say anyway. But let's get your predictions here for this matchup. Go.
Let me take a look at it real quick.
You have to pull it up.
So, no, it's up. Shut up. It is up.
You had the sheet open, okay? I have it in the sheet.
You know what? It's up in 2 spots. I have the stream on the right and the sheet on the left. But you know what? I'm not gonna go willy-nilly here. I need to look at it.
Absolutely.
So, I think this is gonna go to Tap Last. Yes, I am full of sheet.
No.
I'm about 80% sure this is going to Tap Last. And I think the reason why it's going to Tap Last comes down. The reason why it comes down to Tap Last is purely due to lineups. I think overall they just have the better lineups across the board, except for maybe in the 3 seed. Because I do like bringing the Druid. I mean, I know Dire Spare lost, but I still think the Druid into especially like the Paladin is such a good matchup. But I guess this is Legacy. I'm prepping for Hero too. Yeah, no, this is going to Tap Blast for sure.
Triss is saying pod people only have 1 rogue. That's a misplay.
I mean, honestly, kind of. I just feel like Rogue's pretty strong right now.
Mhm.
The issue I always have with Rogue is into the Priest. So, well, see, like Pod people have the Priest and the Warrior, which are both tough matchups for the Rogue.
Unless you bring N'Zoth Rogue.
True.
Then it destroys Priest and Warrior.
Also, like, if you ban
certain
the
Priest and Warrior.
True, but most people are bringing the N'Zoth versions.
They actually only have one of the rogues is only one of them is facing a Priest Warrior, and that's Triss versus Arhat. The rest of the Priest Warriors are not actually facing rogues.
Yes, Diamond, you are correct. The 3 and the 5 are the same matchup, so it does come down to Dex and skill. Let's see how the 5 matchup turns out.
I wonder. So yeah, you said that the Tap Blast does take the week, but let's get your predictions for each seed here.
Let's see. Arhat takes the 1 seed, and then Tap Blast takes the 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, so you're going 4-1.
Yeah.
To Tap Blast.
Yep.
All right. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? So it kind of comes down to like the odd classes, like not the odd classes, but like the fourth deck, right? So like the paladin and the rogue, like what's going to be favored there? That's what I'm looking at in the first match there between Hat and Trist. So I'll be honest, I have more faith in the rogues than I do the paladin because I've played both on ladder quite a bit, and it seems that the paladin can just not do anything if it draws wrong. So I'll probably go with Triss in the 1, and then 2 and 3 for sure are going to win from tap last because the Hunter. I think Hunter's just super strong, and I think it's wrong not bringing Hunter, to be honest. I think Secret Hunter just does well against almost the entire meta. So I'm going to go with that every time. And then probably with Desharmo as well. So Desharmo is going to win as well.
Wow.
So
you just have tap last taking it all.
I do.
5-0. You're going to mimic Desharmo's prediction here this week.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of the way the matchups work out. And I mean, Hat and Zeroshio could prove me wrong, right? They're incredible players. So
yeah, I do think that actually Highlander Paladin does really well into the Hunter. And then with certain, Res Priest also can beat the Hunter. So I don't think it's with those lineups you're totally, Hunter favored, but
it depends on your ban strategy as well with the Hunter. Like, what are you looking for and what are you finding as well? So, but yeah, I'm a big fan. I brought Hunter every single week, and it's done well for me. So
yeah, 7-1 can't argue with that.
The one thing I like about Paladin is just variety. You obviously got the Highlander Secret Paladin, but you can also do the OTK Paladin. You can also do Murloc Paladin, and if you want to go old school, you can go Mech Paladin. They're all still at least quasi viable, and they have their matchups.
Yeah, but my problem with for lineup building is kind of how their strong matchups versus their weak matchups line up. So like when you're looking, like for me personally, I'm looking at like the versatility of a class. Like with Priest is pretty easy because depending on what your opponent ends up bringing, it's actually pretty easy to figure out. Am I bringing combo or am I bringing Death Rattle? I feel like it's much more difficult with Paladin because it's either like a real close 50-50 or it's just like one is just super unfavored against a hand, one or two decks. So I'm in a weird spot with Paladin. I brought it 1 week and it won, but I don't know. I feel like it's not quite as strong as like Hunter and maybe even Rogue, but maybe not. Rogue's hard as well. So
yeah. All right. Are you gonna mimic that prediction to Sharma? Do I need to ask you out each one, or is it just gonna be a full sweep?
We're good to go.
That's what I thought. All right. For me, I'm going to try to be a little bit more practical.
I am practical. What are you talking about?
Right. Yeah, I think he's perfectly practical.
totally practical.
Practically practical.
I mean, look at our records. I mean, I would say that it is practical to say what I said.
All right. Well, I'm going to differ slightly. I do think you win, as much as it hurts me to say. So I'm going to say you take the 4.
You guys are cast cursing me.
I think Icicles is going to take it as well, and I actually think that Pod People take the top 2 seeds. I like Zeroshio's classes better. I like the Paladin Priest, Rogue, Shaman, and I think both of those are going to be very close. But I do like the classes on Pod's side for the top 2, just a little bit better. So that's why I'm leaning that way, and I also don't want to give you the satisfaction of giving you too many points on the week in my predictions. And maybe this has been hurting me throughout the season with my predictions, but I'm still giving you the win, so suck it up.
So I have a quick question. Does anyone else internally read Icicles as Icicles?
I do now.
He's not like a Greek myth. It's not.
I know, but I don't know why. I think it's because I expect some like your online username is some different name and stuff, and it's just named after like a frozen sharp piece of water. So I read it as like Icicles.
What I mean, there's other. What about like base
or bass? I was going to ask that question. Is it bass or is it base? Do we know?
It's base.
Well, it should be bass.
I mean, there's definitely names that aren't like that.
No, I know, but like it's just so easy to make it sound cool. Like you can't make bass sound cool.
You do.
Oh,
It's fast.
Well,
Base
I guess
just-
we have an update. Base
Base
just won 3-0. I'm gonna rescind my prediction. I'm gonna.
That's not how that
I
works.
know it's not. It's not. It's not. If only you told me 5 minutes ago, I would have not looked stupid right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Myadon. You want to prove me wrong, so I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, I'm
I
feeling
mean-
pretty smart.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. There's still more matches. I did say it was gonna be close, and that's not very close, but it happens.
Oh
I'm
my
sure.
God.
I'm sure it was close in spirit. Awesome. Well, you guys are up two games or two
Actually,
matches.
I think we have one more match tonight too. So my match on Friday might not even matter.
We're gonna say it matters because I like that narrative a little bit better. But yeah, any other last thoughts here before we jump to the second match here?
Yeah, we probably need to move forward.
Of the playoffs.
All right, our next one will be Dad Legend, your team, and the Stubbs.
Yeah. Yep. So this is the red 2 seed versus the gold 3 seed. We do have an update here. Zabe won his match 3-2 against Shim Jim.
Awesome.
I was hoping that was going to be streamed.
Unfortunately not. But so we do have that. But other than that, let's do the predictions for the other 4 matches here. Let's start with you, Mako, again.
That's good to know because I would have given that. I would have like predicted Shim Jim in that spot. Ooh, can you hear me?
Yes, you're
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
Mhm.
I accidentally hit a button on my like headset thing, and I don't know which one it was. Let's see. Brick says Dad Legend takes this. Let's see. So Dad Legend already has an advantage. What was the score of that?
3-2.
3-2. Okay, so it was
So
close.
close one. Yeah.
No offense. I think Comp might take that too, but I feel like that's just me looking at higher numbers. But actually looking at things, I think you have the better class lineup into him. I'm going to give it to you. I have faith.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I'm going with Oz for the 3.
Okay.
And then Starlax for the 4, and then Shinsui for the 5.
All right. So you have it 3-2 then
For who? I don't know. I was going
for
individually.
Dad Legend.
Then yes.
Yes.
I was keeping track. I don't like the thing is like that 5 seed. I think that can really go either way. You know, me and Druid don't get along very well. So usually when I see Druid, I'm like, man, I feel sorry for the player playing Druid. That's just me and Druid not having a good relationship. I don't know. I think Turd's a very capable human being.
I'll tell him you said that.
I'll tell him he's on my hero team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. Shansui's gonna take the 5.
Cool.
So yeah, 3-2 for
All right,
Stubbs.
Dan. What do you? Well, no, for Dad Legend. 2.
Oh, Dad Legend. Sorry.
Yeah. Come on.
Man,
Get with the program.
give me a break.
Yeah, so I think I would have probably gone with Saib in the 1, even though they already did win, just because Mage seems a really hard bring right now.
I will.
I mean,
Take offense
I
to
will
that.
actually give
But-
you some
I
insider.
think Mage is pretty good though.
I will give you some insider info. The Mage actually got a win.
Good.
In that match. It wasn't the one that did not get the win. So
As someone who will defend Big Spell Mage variant to my grave and has brought it like every single week in multiple series for like 6 weeks, how dare you?
I'm gonna have
Well,
to
I
agree with
played a bunch
Mako
of
here.
Mage. Don't get me wrong. I played a bunch of Mage. I just think it's. I mean, because it's a little bit. It's got some hard matchups. Like it's good, but then it can be just super stinky, and its best matchups are gone for the most part now. So.
I agree with you, Mako. I think there's definitely some merit. I don't like it so much in Legacy, but I think Mage
It's
has some potential.
it's
Although,
literally favorable in the most popular archetype in the game right now, Evolve
yes,
Shaman.
the big
Yes.
spell Highlander Mage. I agree with you.
And
But
it's also pretty good versus
bowling ball Mage.
it's also pretty
Not as
popular
much.
versus the Zoth Priest too, with polymorphs and things.
Hell
Just
yeah!
polymorph their
Oh,
stuff and you're done.
yeah, it's got the favorable into the
hmm
Seeker
And
Seeker Highlander
and it's
Paladin.
actually very good versus warrior too. And you see a lot
Why
of people
are you
bringing
over
warrior.
here dogging on my mage? It's favorable into all of these super
I
popular.
feel like
Ah,
you
it's
always
the best class. What was I thinking? I was like, of course he should have won.
just
Brought
always bring the
Mage.
Mage.
Exactly. You're
That's what
learning.
all my opponents should do. Please bring the Mage every week, guys.
Um,
You should have told that to my opponents.
All right. So yeah, Dan,
yeah,
what's your predictions now that we've?
and yeah, and I think you beat Comp because Comp's coming in. He's lost the past 2 matches, right? Is that right?
Yeah, that is.
So started 6-0 and then coming in 0-2. That's hard, right? Like you got to get your confidence back, and you're going into the first game of the playoffs. I mean, I just think, even though I think maybe you're even favored up matchup wise, I still think getting the head game right is gonna be kind of hard. So probably pick you to win that one. I know nothing about Yellow Dart or Oz, to be honest. So just on matchups, I think Yellow Dart wins.
You must be new here.
Yeah, those two are like the oldest PHL players like that exist.
Yeah, it's my first season. Sorry.
First
It's
time.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and then so probably the Chronic to win because, well, I like the Druid bring to an extent for the Chronic, and then I think in the 5 Shensui just because with Turd, I think that was the best 5 in the game that you guys had in the league. Actually, was no longer on your team. Yeah, I think he was the best 5. Smoked me and smoked me legitimately. They just beat me down. So I think that's kind of big shoes to fill, to be honest. So
Yeah. So what was that? What did you have for the 4 seed again?
Chronic.
Chronic. Okay. So you
Yep.
have Dad Legend with the 3-2 as well,
Yep.
but different
Yep.
seeds. Gotcha.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Desharmo, give it to me.
All right.
I figured you defend your fellow
Roast me.
using the letter 0 as an O teammate or players.
Oh, is it? I didn't realize
Comp,
even.
that's a C0
Comp, yeah.
input.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, we're both using zeros for O's because we're cool. That's obvious, right? But
Exactly.
confidence matters in Hearthstone so much, right? So once you
Competence.
lose that confidence,
Competence.
Both.
Get it?
yes.
Whatever.
Oh, I get it. I see what you're saying. Sorry, I mumble and stutter, so people
It's fine,
misunderstand.
It's fine. I'm fine.
It's fine. I'm fine. All right, Desharmo, hit me.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah.
Dad Legend wins 4-1.
Okay.
You guys take the top 4 seeds, and the Stubbs
right.
gets the 5th seed.
I'll take it.
I think you and Comp. I think it'll be 3-1. But I think you'll have it pretty easily. And I like Yellow Dart's classes into Osmonaut's classes, and honestly, I like Starlax's classes into the Chronic. So, and Starlax beat me, so he can win.
Awesome. I appreciate it, man. Well, I'm gonna do the Desharmo thing, and I'm gonna say we win 5-0.
It's a good move.
It's bold move.
We're gonna win 5-0. I've got faith in Turd. We talked a lot this week about his prep and stuff, and I think he's feeling good. He's feeling confident. And that's gonna be my Turd upset of the week.
I don't think that's an upset at all. I think Turd is capable to win.
I think so too, but everyone else voted against him, so I'm making it my Turd upset pick of the week. He's not here to give his own, so I am giving my Turd upset pick of the week to Turd.
Guys, my Anodon's going crazy. He's
What?
getting angry.
I'm giving it to Turd. Two Turd. Okay, so I'm just writing this in. I have to keep a strict log so we can look back and see how good our predictions were at the end.
Are you guys ready for the last one?
There's two
Two
more.
left.
Are there two more?
There sure
Come
are.
on,
Oh.
get with it.
Oh, I wasn't. I'm sorry. I had it already set up, and I was setting up the fourth one. So, never mind. We'll do the next one. A Noyo team versus the Round Table.
Ooh, a spicy
This
matchup.
is a really good one. This will face the winner of Tap Last and Pod People.
Yeah, this is the red 3 and the gold 2 seed. So, I mean, you guys definitely proved yourselves towards the end of the season, and Roundtable's had a pretty good season throughout. I'm gonna have you go last this time, Dan, because I want maybe your thoughts after we give our thoughts. So let's start with Desharmo this time.
All right. Well, just gonna start off bad, Dano, but it's gonna get better. I promise. All right. I think Round Table take Lotus Knight, and Itachi win in the 1 and 2. I think they're gonna take those. Those players have been around for a long time. They know what they're doing. But I think the Inoyo team takes the bottom 3: a Mage, Zethund, and Mad at Arms. I like their classes into what they're playing, and so I think Inoyo team wins. A very very close one, but they win.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll take it. Sure. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I'm into it. Yeah, I think this is definitely gonna be a close one. In that would be so far we predicted that the top seed has won. So far, I think all of us, with Tap Last being the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, and the 2 seed versus the 3 seed for Dad Legend winning. So this is our first prediction where the lower seed, technically, with the Anoya being the 3 seed and Roundtable being the 2, taking the win. So I like it. Let's hear your thoughts, Mako.
All right. Sorry, Dano. You're just hold on. You're not gonna like the first part.
Just hold on. You won't like the whole thing. The whole
You're
thing.
also not gonna like the second part.
The
So
third, fourth, and fifth part would be great. Okay, cool. Moving on.
okay. So Roundtable is going. In my opinion, I think they'll end up winning the 1, 2, 4, and the 5. I think the only one they'll take is the 3. That's it. I mean, I think you're hard pressed to bet against Copper Talon. Period. Because when you do, he ends up winning. Even worse than the first guys. Because Brick's the only one I said was gonna lose. Sorry.
Even
I'm not-
worse.
I'm not calling a full sweep.
That's amazing.
It's like never happened.
You gave the win to everyone but Brick,
Yeah,
but Andrew there. So
I
that's
think it's
fun.
I think it's hard to bet against Copper Talon, especially bringing the Almighty Mage. I mean, like, jokes, but at the same time, he's got some pretty good matchups there.
Mhm.
Murloc, it's been kind of hard to bet against him recently. Although he did bring Warrior, which in my opinion's not a very good class to bring recently. Like
There are 3 on the side of Inoyo as well.
they are, and I also bet against 2 of them.
That's true.
And then the third one, his opponent also has Warrior, so you know, no, I still think Murloc's gonna. Yeah, no, I'm sticking by it. 4-1.
I'm not going to say you're wrong. I think you're a very good team.
Cool. Okay. No. Yeah. So it's now my turn. This is a tough one to predict.
Is it?
Yeah, man. I think it is.
I know it is. I'm just kidding.
I think it is. I'm gonna stick with the trend though and say they win the top 2. Sorry, Dan.
Nope. Good.
But Itachi's a good player, man. He knows what he's doing.
Don't even do it. Do it.
You know what? I'm getting peer pressure. I'm gonna give it to Brick. I'm doing it.
Oh.
He takes it.
He's being pressured.
He takes that one.
Mm.
I want it. Yeah. No. I'm not being pressured. I think
Mm-hmm.
he deserves it. Just skip the 3.
So it's a pity vote. It's a pity vote. He deserves it. He's tried
Oh
hard.
my god. All right, I'm gonna give. Ooh. I'm gonna say Man at Arms takes the 5, and then. Man, this one's close too. It's hard to bet against Super Murloc. But I do like the Zethan's classes better. I'm gonna give it to Zethan, but I think that one's close. So 3-2 to Round Table.
At least
But,
one of us has faith, Dano.
Yeah. I mean, literally, one of us has faith.
You didn't have faith in him though.
I picked Desharmo to win, right?
No, he means I didn't have faith in you beating Itachi.
Oh, I don't care. That's cool. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've watched Itachi play on TV, so I'm not worried. Like, Itachi's gonna beat me. Let's not play around. Like,
Don't say that, dude. You can beat Itachi. He's beatable.
Beat him, man. Don't give up.
I know.
Well, I think it's important to keep that PPR that I have. I mean, I think it's perfect. So,
Right. So
I
just
mean,
don't play. Just don't.
yeah. So I think if I can keep that PR at 420, I think we win, right? So.
I didn't get what you were going at until you said that.
Yeah, that's the goal. So, like,
Look at
honest,
that. You're getting great tips here in chat. Twos is saying, just draw the cards that win. Diamond
Okay.
saying, remember hair evolve.
those are super good picks. I like that.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say show up on time, but Itachi is not gonna miss his match. So
No, we've already chatted about it. No, it's gonna be fun. So honest to goodness picks. I like Nulltown's classes, and I like how Nulltown's been playing. Pick him to win. I don't. Honest to goodness, like I like my classes against Itachi. I don't. I mean, I'm crazy if I don't admit that Itachi's a better player. So I'm excited to play Itachi. I think it's gonna be a blast. I'm excited. If I can take it to 5 games, I'll be just over the moon, to be honest. So Itachi is going to beat me, I think, most likely. But, I have a puncher's chance. I think I like my classes. I like my brings, and I like my plan. So that's always good. A mage, I can't pick Brick, right? I mean, Brick's probably not going to win a game this season or next season. So
those are some shots I've ever seen.
I got to go with my team, right? And Zethan and Man at Arms. I do honestly think we have really good 3 to 5. I like our matchups there. I think they're just strong players. It's kind of why we built the team we built it, right? So, we don't have anyone really high, but we don't have any low either. So I think it puts us in every single match. So I like our chances. I'm not going to say we're going to win, but I'll be surprised if we get taken behind the woodshed. So
you know what? Can I make a change, please?
Sure.
Yeah.
I say Dano beats Itachi 3-2.
Just so he gets one.
Mm-hmm. And Onoyo team will win 4-1.
There you go. I think you guys both predicted. So you predicted, Dan. You predicted that Onoyo also wins 4-1, right? With you being the only loss.
That's right.
There you go. Awesome. So you're you can get that 2 seed win. I believe in you as well. Honestly, I think this is a really close matchup, and I think any of these matches could go both ways. I do lean towards Roundtable taking it overall, but I think you guys have impressed me throughout the season. So I think you started off a little slow and then really picked it up and found your stride. So definitely think you have potential here.
Agreed. Thank you.
You're
I also
welcome.
think we have potential.
Hey, I like compliments. It feels good, right? Like
you guys should just whenever you're doing the bands, you guys should just type hello, 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 hello. Every time you're doing the bands, you're like, what are you doing?
Hello.
That's how you win. That's how you win your games.
It's true. It's true. Annoy them to death.
All right, you guys want to move on to the next one?
Hello. Let's do it.
Dirty Mike and the Boys versus Wet Boys.
All right. So this is the red 4 seed versus the gold 1 seed. Let's see. All right. Wow. This is a tighter than you'd think for a 1 to 4. I think in my my mind. The like bottom three are very, very interesting. But let's jump in. Let's start with Dan this time.
So I think overall, I'm going to give it to Wet Boys just because I think the every person on the team bringing Druid seems overly ambitious to me. Like, I think Druid's good. I think it's going to find its wins, but and then luckily then they have the rogue matchup that they're looking for probably, but man, like finding a win with Druid in all 5 matchups, I think is going to be hard. So I think overall, I think Wet Boys just wins. I think individually, 1 and 2, I think are going to go to Wet Boys. I like Icy and Lefty in the 3 and the 5, and then Maddie in the 4, just based on classes. So I think that Rogue Druid matchup is going to be good for Dirty Mike, right? That's what you're kind of looking for, I assume. And maybe the Warrior as well, but Druid's I don't know. People love it and they're great at it, and I think it finds wins, right? And it's doing work, but I don't think I'd want everyone to bring Druid, I guess. Unless they're really confident in it, then good on them. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think reasonable predictions for sure. I also think you've made an enemy for life there, a rival here in Brick.
Don't worry, Brick. I also never vote for myself, so it's all good.
Oh boy! All right. Okay, let's hear from Mako. What do you think here?
That's a lot of D's on the side of Dirty Mike.
It's a lot of
Jesus
D's.
Christ.
Throw some D's on that.
It's the second most amount of D's I've ever seen in one spot in my life.
D's, P's, and S's.
Was the other one your report card, or are you making a different?
It was a different joke.
We all know what it means.
PG. Trying to keep it PG.
I think Dirty Mike. I think they're them and all of their D's are about to get wet.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh my God.
I think this is
all right.
Mako's class average. Hey, sir. I'll have you know we took tests today and they did well. I think Wet Boys is gonna take the 1, 2, and the 4 for sure. And then I want to give the 5 to them as well, and then I see Finney taking the 3 for Dirty Mike. So 4-1 Wet Boys. That's my opinion.
And let's hear from you, Desharma. Get another call in my ears here, where they're getting the call started for the upcoming match that I'll announce in a little bit. But yeah.
All right, just real quickly. I think this match comes down to whether or not the Dirty Mike and the boys can get a 1 win in the 1 or the 2. I don't think that they'll win both of them. That's not going to happen. So I think they have to poach one of those games for them to take this. I do think that they will win 2 out of the 3 bottom ones. They will not win all 3, but they will win 2 out of 3. So for them to win this, they either have to beat Saros has to beat Derivis, which is really hard, or Tony Montana has to beat Aviously, which I think is a little bit more likely, but not much more. If I had to go with it, I think the Wet Boys win 3-2. Aviously, Derivis take the 1 and the 2. And actually, I would say JR takes the 3, and Brushy and Lefty take the 4 and the 5.
Yeah, you signed with your boy Brushy here. I like it.
I mean, he is like really good in pro, so he does have capability.
No, absolutely. I definitely think a lot of these are going to be very close, and I agree with you 100% that I think it's going to come down to the top 2. If they can win one on the side of DMB, then they'll be in a good position, I think, to win the week. I do think Matty Ebbs probably takes the 4, in my opinion. I think Tuna's had a great season in pro, not so great here in Legacy. I don't know what maybe not being able to shield something, or maybe the strategy's not working the same way. But 2-6 versus 6-2 at similar PRs, it's hard to vote against that. And Quirky and Lefty. Lefty is like a hero 1 seed. Quirky's been having an amazing season, but I think this is one of the tougher matchups for her. And so I think I want to give it to Lefty, and then Icy Finney. JR I think is also going to be close. JR not having his best season, and Icy Finney I think having a pretty solid season. I'm going to give it to him, although I could definitely see that going to JR. And top 2 I'm going to give to Wet Boys. But like you said, if Surlos or Tony manage to sneak a win there, then they're going to be a good spot. So we'll be looking out for those matches for sure as the week continues to see what the likelihood is, at least according to my prediction. So yeah, for me it's Wet Boys, Dirty Mike and the Boys, Wet Boys, Dirty Mike and the Boys. So 3-2 to Wet Boys. Yeah, and that's our predictions for the week. And we'll see how wrong we are next week. Awesome. So that's pretty much. We do have questions for our guests here. We do want to finish up a little bit sooner, just because they are waiting to start that match. But if you have any questions for Dan, please post them in the chat. We have a couple that we normally ask, so I will start with those while we wait for some questions from chat. But this is probably not too crazy of a question, but what is the origin of your name? Where did that come from?
So my name is Dan. I know, surprising, and my dad calls me Dano, and everyone knows the O is cooler. Like the 0 is cooler than the O, so Dano with a 0, and so that's all there really is to it. It was like I started playing Hearthstone, like I need a name, Dano. That was it. Yeah, nothing too interesting about it, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I mean, real nickname. I mean, my name actually originates from a nickname back when I was in middle school. One of my buddies used to call me Myanodon. So definitely, I mean, I not a name that maybe my parents call me, but it did kind of come from a similar background. It's,
Yeah.
My name plus something. Mine has Adon. Yours has O.
Yeah. The cool version of the O, though, right?
Cool version. Oh, John Day, thank you for subscribing. 14-month streak. You are our second longest streak. Sorry. Saku beat you. So, get good. And then what else we got? Oh, we have a question here. Which was harder, DHL or THL?
So I would say THL just because of, so DHL was Swiss. So when you started to when you lost once you lost, a couple matches, it really kind of just became fun time. So it was pretty easy to take it really casually, which was the point. Was if you want to take it seriously, you could. And there are people who took it very seriously. Myself, I would, as soon as I lost a match, I would start I would throw in the towel because it's easier than stressing a win. So THL is definitely more stress because I feel like if I need to get that win in order to win for the team. That's the whole point, right? So THL is definitely more difficult, but it's also so much more fun because of that team aspect. So
yeah, awesome. Glad you're enjoying it so far. Any other questions from chat here, or should we?
I asked a question. If you want to read it.
Oh, where is it?
Right below Diamonds.
What podcast are you on?
Yeah, so I am on Squelch, another Hearthstone podcast. So myself, Magooch, and Enthralmund, we record every Monday and podcast comes out every Wednesday, and it's like a casual, competitive type of podcast. Really, it was just kind of 3 old men talking about Hearthstone, and we take it varying degrees of serious. I mean, so Enthralmund, he's legend every single season. He's top 100 every now and again. So he's just really great at ladder, and I really enjoy the competitive side of things. I like to play in these type of league formats, and then Magooch will play anything that's a rogue. I mean, he plays a lot of wild, and it's like if it's rogue, he plays it. I think he has platinum rogue on 2 of the 3 different servers, so he just plays a ton of rogue.
Wow.
Yeah. So
impressive. That's awesome. Definitely check him out on that.
Yeah.
And we have another question from Diamond here. What are your plans for the next season? Are you planning on playing or captaining or neither or both?
Yeah, both, hopefully, actually. So I put in a application to captain a hero team. I'm hopeful that goes through. I had a lot of fun running. I ran DHL for 3 or 4 seasons when it first started. I kind of missed that aspect of it a little bit, but I also just kind of enjoy having Man at Arms tell me what to do and when to do it. That's also kind of wonderful. So hopefully both. And then I'm also playing in Aspirant Series Season 3 again. Aspirant was a ton of fun last season. I expect to be a ton of fun again, and a little bit of money on the line there. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And another question, we got a couple from Diamond here. What is your favorite color spelled with the OU, the British way, as he does?
My favorite color it has to be red because it's my son's favorite color, and if I didn't agree with him that red was the best color, he would be upset. So he's 5. So red is my favorite color right now, and then if he changes it, then it's also my new favorite color. So
That's a
that
good parent. Yeah, absolutely. And then this isn't a question, but thank you, Diamond, for complimenting our beards. Mako,
Yes.
does I don't know. Do you have your I'm too lazy to shave face? I guess is what you're saying.
Yes.
I just when you're not actually on the screen, I always just imagine you look like Mako there. So
You
with that
imagine I
baby
look like
face.
a little schoolgirl? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm not too far off. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, right.
And then do we have any other questions here? I have a too lazy to shave face when it hits 11 a.m. the same day I shave. Nice. Yeah, I definitely,
Yeah.
I feel that. I have a
Yes.
fast growing hair as well.
I live there. Yep.
Well, this beard took me a year to do, so I do not have fast growing hair.
Huh. Loser.
Yeah,
Grow
Get some
hair
more-
faster. What are you
Get some
thinking?
more testosterone, dude. Ugh,
Gosh.
bro. How do I get my beard to connect? Ghost asks. I definitely have people that don't have their beards. It depends how bad it is, to be honest. Some people can never connect their beard. Some people, if you grow it out a little bit, it kind of naturally connects a little bit. Um, I know, like, I think, always have this fully connected when I first had the beard, but it definitely comes in.
Yeah. I still have a patch right here that doesn't come in.
I don't have one that connects right in the middle here. You can see.
Like connects a little bit, but not all the way.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Beards are weird.
I would just like to point out that we have hit peak viewership numbers.
We're
at
talking
the
about our beards. The beard talk. Come check us out.
This is what the people really want.
This is what people want to talk about.
Beard talk, right? We should have a beard logo.
Hard-hitting content.
This is it. This is what you love to see. All right. If there's no other questions, I'll just get a couple announcements, and then stay on here in about 10 minutes time. There will be the match you guys have been waiting for. So first announcement is that match tonight is Hero Series quarterfinals. It's Donde versus Twos. Twos is 6-1 for the season, and Donde is 7-1. So 2 powerhouses on their teams. They have similar classes. For Twos, it's Druid, Priest, Shaman, Warrior, and for Donde, it's Paladin, Priest, Shaman, Warrior. So the Druid and the Paladin are the only differences there. And I think it's the first match in their team matches this week. So definitely start out the week for them for that quarterfinal match. And then following that, tomorrow night, we have Friday Night Fights at 9 p.m. There's a Hero Series match, also the quarterfinals of Lefty, who we were just talking about, versus Ron Mexico. And then at 10 p.m. there's a Legacy Series match, you Desharmo versus Shiny Pants, that 4-seed match that we did highlight earlier, and that's going to be casted by Brushy Tuna, the Big Ted, and Saku opping and giving his 2 cents tonight. Sorry, I forgot the hosts are Lotus Knight, Ted as well. Again, Big Ted and Saku doing the opping and hosting as well. On Saturday, we have Saturday Schoolstone, our new show that started last week. The casters are Liquidox and Snake, I believe, with Lotus and Twos doing something as well. I don't know if they're switching off exactly, or if they just have an influence on there. But definitely stay tuned for that. I don't think they have a match lined up yet, but if you are playing on Saturday, please let them know. I think they'd love to have you guys. Sunday, we have Sunday Showdown, potential triple header. It's Big Ted and Quaz at 7 or 7:30 ish. It's going to be Fuel versus Top Hat Demon for Pro. A triple header actually of Pro matches for the final. So Sunday, 3 matches of the final Pro series. The finals. 3 of them are going to be on Sunday, 7, 8, and 9 ish. Give or take. It's going to be right after each other. It's Fuel versus Top Hat first, Dark Side versus Jet Law after that, and then Art Hat versus Itachi. So the week is not going to be determined until then, and that's going to determine the winners of the Pro Series for this season. So stay tuned for those things, and just stick around for this match upcoming here with Donde versus Twos. Any other announcements for anybody else?
I just want to give a props to Ted for casting 3 matches this week, or 3
3
shows this week. That's
Mm-hmm.
really good. I know we always say props to the best players, but I think contributors in this manner, they deserve props too. They put in a lot of time to make this thing happen. So thank you, and thank you to Saku, who's also just opping all the time.
Absolutely. And sorry to my fans, I can't cast tonight or Friday as I normally would, but next time. Sorry, guys. Hope you enjoyed Tavern Talk, though, and thank you again to Dano for joining us. I hope you had a good time, and hope you have a great week, man, and good luck in your match.
Thanks. I do watch the show either on YouTube or on the VODs on Twitch. I did want to bring that up. So,
thank you.
and thanks so much for having me on. I mean, this is a blast, and the content's wonderful. So I really appreciate coming on and goofing up your show. So thanks.
Thank you very much, and good night, everybody. Stick around for the match.
Good night, guys.